How's it going, everybody? This is Third Winter. My name is Oakley, and this is my review of John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. The third installment of the John Wick franchise is directed by Chad Stahelski. Can't say his name right. I'm not even going to try. Actually, I just did try, but it's right there if, whatever. It's ran by a bunch of stunt guys, and this movie is about stunts, and the first two were, and that's what it's always been. It stars Keanu Reeves, of course, and it stars a bunch of other actors like Ian McShane, Lawrence Fishburne, Halle Berry. We also got Sir Bronn of the Blackwater, Jerome Flynn in this film, which is always great to have two. There's two Game of Thrones actors, Ian McShane and him. Ian McShane for like an episode, but whatever. And the story is basically picking up right after the second one. People are after him. I guess spoilers for the second one, but there's a big contract on him. He's excommunicado, and everybody's after him. He's basically got to survive somehow, and that's how he's been doing it in the first two films, and he's doing it again in this third one. In John Wick 3, the stunts in this film alone blow my mind, and the camera with it. They have nice wide shots, which are amazing because you don't really get that. You get that quick Jason Bourne style editing, and it really is hard to do this action without that. It's really hard to set up a camera at a wide angle and have everybody just doing their own stunts like Keanu Reeves and just having these long, drawn out fight sequences all in a wide take. You see everything. You kind of see sometimes where it's choreographed a little bit, but that's not a real big issue. We go to this film for great action sequences, and we get them. I will say at times, though, it does get a little drawn out and a little bit over the top, which kind of takes you out of the film a little bit. There are a lot of funny moments, though, with the action, and there's a specific one with a knife scene with them throwing them at each other, and it is just, it's my favorite. I would say it is my favorite action sequence in the John Wick franchise. I love that club scene in the first one, and I love the rave scene in the second as well, but there is just something about the first 30 minutes of this film that are just amazing. Amazing fight choreography, amazing stunts. To die for cinematography. I'm a big cinematography nut. It's probably my favorite aspect of filmmaking, and so that combined with the stunt work really makes me happy in this film. But towards the second act, it does get a little boring. I'll just say it goes slower than normal. There are some action sequences that pick it up, but it just kind of seems a little convoluted at times. I feel like they could have just made it simple and kept him at a certain place. In the trailers, you see him in the desert. It kind of draws out and it kind of loses you a little bit. There's a sequence with Halle Berry that she kicks some ass, and it's awesome. Her and John Wick, they work together, and it's amazing. It's in the trailer, so it's not much of a spoiler. That sequence is probably worth admission alone. The third act comes around, and it's huge. It's bigger than probably the first two movies combined, maybe. It's huge. There is some, mustache twirling villains, and, I gotta say, in this film, the worst part of the movie is probably the story. We don't really go to these films for the story, but there are people that do, and I always look for story, obviously, in film, but this one is not as good. Motivation gets a little muddled, and it just kind of drags a little bit, and it probably goes a little bit too long. I kind of wish it would have been closer to that 145 that the first two were. I can see at times where people just see these as cheesy action movies, but the technical level, I always hold these a little bit higher, so I tend to critique it a little bit more with the story. But overall, this film is fun. I'll say that. It does slow down a lot in the second act of the film. And in the third act, it gets a little much, a little almost exhausting. I wouldn't say Mad Max exhausting because I feel like there was enough story there to help build the action and the emotional parts of the action that it doesn't get boring. But with this, it just kind of seems like they've been going for so long, and it just kind of, it's exhausting. The acting's great. Everybody's on par. Keanu Reeves is the worst best actor ever. I kind of wish he would have been Anakin. Wow, that would have been good. We would have got a better performance. But he's good. He's good. Of course, his stunt work is amazing, and I love him for it. And I feel like he's a great guy outside of acting as well. With this film, it is big. It is over the top. The action's great. The story's a little lacking. I do think this is probably the worst film in the franchise. I don't think it's bad at all. It's not a bad movie. I think it's a good movie. But if I had to rank them, I would go John Wick 2, John Wick John Wick Chapter 3. And, you know, it suffers a little bit from the sequel-itis, if you will, trying to be bigger, better. And it's just not as good as the other ones. I found myself more entertained. This time I was a little bit, you know, sitting back, getting a little bored. I do recommend checking this out. I think this is a very good action movie, though, if you're looking at the technical aspects of the film and just the pure stunt work. It blows your mind. I'd put it on par with, like, the Mission Impossible. Like, obviously I don't think it's as good, like, story-wise, because I feel like the Mission Impossible movies are a little bit out of its own league, as in it should be a lot worse than they are. And this franchise is a lot better than it probably should be. I definitely recommend going to see it. It's kind of a mindless, entertaining movie. You have your cheesy moments. It is pretty funny as well. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. Don't forget to check us out on SoundCloud at Third Winter Podcast and Third Winter-ish on Instagram and Twitter. And also, make sure you subscribe down below if you like this video. Make sure you hit the like, put the notification bell, you can see when we're actually posting videos. Thanks for watching. What did you guys think of John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum? Let us know in the comments. And also, is Keanu Reeves the worst best actor ever? Let me know. Have a good one, guys. Thank you. Hey, guys, thanks for watching. If you like what you saw here, make sure you subscribe down below. We also have some Game of Thrones videos right there, and we have some movie reviews right there. Thank you for your love and support, and remember, winter is coming. Or don't follow us. You don't have to.